To the best food I've ever seen.
So these are vows that you take to keep the perfection of patience. So any of this activity would break and chip away at the perfection of not getting angry, right? The first one is losing the 4 points of patience, or the practice of virtue, sorry, which is if someone yells at you, you yell back. If someone's gotten angry at you, you get angry back. If someone beats you or hurts you, you hurt them back. And if someone criticizes your faults, your mind goes straight into digging at them and going, well, you know. So there's a practice where, this is not a hard one to break, yeah? This not being able to keep your mind, so this is why mind training is so important, because these are now, what are you doing with your mind, right? Obviously, if you can't control your mind when someone criticizes you and your mind straight away wants to look at your faults and like, you think I'm that? You know, it's that. There's no exceptions. It says when you break any of these, you don't have to do all 4 as a secondary offense.
Hector, can I ask
Hi.
a question? If someone snaps at you, and does the thing with the head, is it on the offense list or back?
Say that again.
If someone snaps and does their head like that, it would be on the list of primary offenses against patience if you did that back.
Secondary offenses, number 1. Yeah. Secondary offenses. It depends on your motivation. Okay. So if you know the answer to this.
I just saw you do it. I was just like skirting the edge.
Yeah. It's about what you're intending. If the point here, I believe, for this vow is to begin to habituate your mind to not have that automatic response that fires up whenever you feel hurt. Yeah, whenever you're feeling attacked, whether physically, verbally, whatever. It's begin to protect that side of your mind and develop some muscle strength to the capacity for you to begin to see where things really come from. So to build that muscle, then you take on this vow to say, when people yell, I'm going to listen. I mean, this is the first of all practices that I think we can have in the workplace, the practice of the yelling boss, right? To sit there and watch somebody yell or you perceive somebody yelling or being angry at you, and being able to observe what's happening inside you before you beep, before your mind wants to. This is a hard thing to do. So they don't list any niyamans here. So if you break this one, if you break this secondary offense, how do you fix it? What's the consequence? Because this is one that we do all the time.
I have a question though. So just feeling the emotion of anger would be breaking the vow.
If someone's gotten angry at you,
right,
and you're sitting there, and it doesn't say it in this vow, but it says it in a previous vow, that the impulse might not necessarily break the vow, but holding on to it, like letting it build up and then acting, that would break the vow. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's in the previous one. In this one, he doesn't say. So I would say, if you are holding anger, if you're feeling a sense of anger back, and you don't have the wish to pull back, yeah, then you've broken this one. Mm-hmm.
So do the 4 chains apply to this secondary offenses too, or just to the first?
To the first, the root ones. Yeah. How do you fix a secondary offense?
Confess it to someone.
To how many?
One person.
One person.
What?
Yeah. One person. Yeah. And we'll talk about this next week. Yeah. About the practice of why would it be important to confess it? To go and sit next to somebody and confess it.
Vanity. Vanity.
What's that? What does that do? Yeah.
You're like, damn, I gotta tell my homie that I got angry back to them.
So the person that you choose to do this dialogue with is also extremely important. We'll talk about it next week. But the sheer fact, imagine if every single intention you had, every thought that's going through you, every emotion, your best, most revered friend could see it like that. Yeah? That's a practice. To be able to say, this is what I am in the world right now. It's pretty disgusting. Have a look. What it would do is it would help you to not do that next time. Yeah? The danger, of course, is if you're sharing it with somebody that, don't worry, you'll be okay. Like, it's got to be someone that you feel that kind of, that usually, if it's the person that gave you the vows in the first place, you don't want to go back and say, look, I've just made a complete mess of all these things you gave me, these precious things. There should be some kind of, by telling you, I wish I'd never have to sit in front of you and tell you this thing again. Like, there's got to be an energy inside of you that says, I want to fix that thing, that quality. Yeah? I hope to have one class at the end where we talk about all the vows in a practical way, like we talked today about the practice at the retail store. Yeah, because I think that's important, and I hope that before we start the next course, we all get a chance to do exactly that, because the Bodhisattva vows are such precious states of mind that if you're able to begin them on the right track to start with, you will have the most magnificent results. That's the point of them. They lead you into a tantric path, and they lead you into seeing every being as enlightened. So, to keep them properly, to keep them beautiful, we should spend some time not just reviewing what they are called and what they are, to break them and not to break them, but actually really think about the practice. The reason I say that is because if we were naturally doing these things already, this wouldn't be a thing. We're like, oh yeah, we're hanging out, I'm a Bodhisattva. Oh, you want to be a Bodhisattva? Now you're a Bodhisattva? Okay, I don't have to do anything. But it doesn't work that way. To wake up from this world that we're perceiving in this way, that is churning us like a dryer, to wake up from that doesn't require no effort. But when the effort that it requires begins to be so sublime and so lovely that you see the result, that you see this dream, that you have power to transform it, then these things become the most beautiful instructions, the most beautiful and sweet things you could ever have, and therefore you want to keep. So I hope that we get a chance to discuss that a little bit next week, and then the following week, which will be the last class, we'll get to spend some time really talking about what is it to develop that state of mind. Imagine in your lives not having that automatic response, that because somebody threw something at you, you understood enough about the world and your mind that what's the point in wanting to hurt you back? What if your reply was, I love you?
Mm-hmm.
But not intellect, like, I love you. What if your reply was, I can't believe how much you're helping me? And you really saw that. So this is the muscle builder for that. Yeah. Simply ignoring those who are angry. Okay, this one. You have transactions in your world where you did something stupid and you've made somebody upset. Yeah? And if you didn't, then you should be teaching all of us. Yeah, because I've got no idea who can do that. And then you've got instances where you did something lovely and they got upset. And you've upset people. You've had the best intention, you did the nicest thing, and they're pissed off with you. Yeah? In either case, the onus is on you to go and cool the situation, to clear the air. For this vow is to develop the muscle and state of mind that says there is a perceived upsetness out there. It might be correct. I might have done something that really hurt you. Or I might have done something that was correct to do and you are hurt. You see the difference? Yeah? In either case, the onus is on you to go and cool the situation down. Either apologize, I didn't see that that was going to upset you, I did it because of these things. Yeah, or I'm such an idiot, I didn't even think that it would upset you and I was so incorrect in doing it. I'm sorry. In one case you would say I'm sorry for making a mistake. In the other case you would explain why you did what you did because it was the correct thing to do. There are some nyamans, so let me share those with you. If you're such an amazing bodhisattva that for the love of all living beings you want to teach that person a lesson, then that one applies to you. If they are teaching wrong spiritual ideas, like stupid spiritual ideas around the practice of sex getting you to enlightenment and, you know, doing copious amounts of mind-altering drugs that will lead you to enlightenment, etc., and follow me, give me all your money, and etc., etc., or teaching, you know, emptiness is nothingness, etc., nothing matters, then it doesn't apply. Yeah, so that's an exception. If you see that it would bring them more pain, if you have a perception that by interacting with them, going, look, let's talk about this thing that upset you, would get them more upset and more enraged, then you should withdraw. Yeah, you should not do it. If you don't think it would help, etc. Bingo.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say ignoring those who are angry, is it only because you angered them, or is it like someone coming to you that is expressing anger, but you're not
Yeah.
the one angering them, right?
I think there's two or more vows coming up on anger. One is you allowing thoughts of anger to continue, and then depending on your understanding of the world is whether you take this one as that one is wrong, blah, 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 sorry. And then there's another one to actually dispel people's grief and sadness. So it doesn't really matter. This vow in particular refers to the instances where you've done an activity and that activity has pissed somebody off, rightly or wrongly.
So this is referring to me doing something to harm or that angers Danielle, and I recognize that.
Then the
Actually,
onus
this is her being
Then
mad at you, whether you think
right,
you
then
did
the
it or not.
onus is on me to go to her and say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that this.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
try and cool it down. Either through logic of the correct thing you did, yeah, I took away your $20 because you owed it to me. Remember, you told me, oh, I didn't mean it, sorry. Or, I didn't mean to steal your $20, I thought that it was this.
Right.
Yeah, the onus just sits on you.
Hector,
Mm-hmm.
where would holding space with someone who is angry come in?
Holding space, how do you mean?
Sometimes to hold a boundary with someone, it's proper to make a boundary,
Yeah.
and then they get upset about
Yeah.
the fact that you firmed up or expanded the boundary.
Yeah.
And to hold space with them because it's a healthy thing,
Yeah.
and you know it's going to be uncomfortable to do this.
Then if that's going to lead the situation and those beings out of suffering more than keeping this found, then that you have to keep that one. Yeah. So the discernment about, you see, there's only you in your mind experiencing this reality. Yeah. And then you share a perception with this other being, and you are observing this perception occurring in front of you. It's valid. It's true. They are having a reaction. If you know that keeping a boundary would cause a greater goodness in this world, then you keep the boundary, would be the discernment here. If you see that the festering and anger that goes on in that person would multiply and cause them more harm, then you have to dispel it. The point here is remove any anger that is multiplying in people's minds, because that anger is destroying their virtue. So if holding boundary is going to, you know that person. So for example, if you did it to someone like me, I'm a stubborn person, and if you held ground with me, it would force me to be better, and you knew that about me. I would hold ground. So that would be my answer to you as a practitioner. Yeah, that's what I would do. How's that?
I just thought of different instances in the past where, say, you broke up with someone, and you knew they were hurting, but it wasn't your place to console, because it would increase
It would,
This is like areas that the intellect just simply can't hang on because voltage is too high, and the space is necessary.
So that's in one of the exceptions. So the exception here is if you knew it wouldn't help, you shouldn't do it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I thought we were going to get through 46 today. Apparently not. Refusing to accept somebody's apology. This is different to the root vow number 3, where you refuse somebody's apology or struck another. It's different to that because that one is you allow the simmering to come up and then you struck them or I'm not listening to you, etc. This is because you feel superior or something, you know, but it's still the same flavor. It's like you see that there is a suffering over there. People have sincerely come up to you and said, look, I'm so sorry. And it's not that you've let it simmer and you're refusing. It's that out of pride or superiority, you choose not to. There's an evilness in you saying, you know, I want you to hurt. Yeah. There are exceptions to that one, which is number 19, to teach them a lesson, or if you believe that they're insincere, that it's not true. Allowing thoughts of anger to go on, meaning you don't think it's wrong to be angry, yeah? So feeling angry and getting angry is not a wrong thing. You don't do anything to counter it, and you just let it flow and fester. And you know what it's like. It's like stepping into a whirlpool. Yeah, it's different to observing anger, okay? Mm-hmm. It's different to observing your mind having a response, and then you're through the observation and trying to understand, you have a different relationship to that thing coming up. It's different to that. This is saying, you know, I don't think it's wrong, and I'm going to say F you, and I'm going to allow it to churn and fester and get dark. And you don't put any resistance at all. You don't do anything to counter it. You have no regret about the feeling. You just let it go on and on and on. Understanding that anger is the thing that destroys virtue. If you've done all the other study, when you get to this point, your whole energy should be to understand how that anger can possibly come up in you, meditate upon it, do some kind of 4 forces on it, some kind of purification about it. Use it as a lesson. Anger is going to come up. It's not that you should not have anger come up. You do have anger come up. That's why it's a vow. But the point here is develop the state of mind. This is against the perfection of patience, which means not getting angry, right? So develop the state of mind that when anger comes up, you have the muscle built up that says, why is it wrong? So develop your wisdom around it. What is it doing to my stream of consciousness and my world and my reality and those around me? How can I counter it permanently, ultimately, relatively? And then what mechanisms do you have to stop it from flowing and continuing? Thank you so much. Yeah, she said she could leave early. No. Can I let me see. I think there is. Do you mind if I do another 15 minutes? Anyone hate me for 15 minutes? You hate me? Yeah. Right. Get out. No.
Please.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah. I would like it. You know, if it was up to.
We had an hour before we got.
Yeah.
You can handle that one.
Look, one thing I love about this group is that you guys are real and.
Wait. What do you mean by that?
Really real.
Relatively real. Meaning, there's a genuineness about connecting to these ideas and making them practical. These ideas have been in the world for a long time, and it's rare to find a group of people who are interested to use these ideas to transform the world. So I feel very grateful that we are happy bantering, etc. I would sit here and teach this for another 2, 3, 4 hours tonight if it was available, if people would stay. Yeah, I would do this all the time. And and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do it for the 2 hours. We do it every Thursday, 2.5 hours sometimes. Every Thursday. Because for me, touching these ideas has really transformed a life that I have seen what it could have turned out like. Because I went back and visited all my friends in Argentina that were born where I was born. They went to the school I went to school. They did the things I was supposed to do, and I somehow escaped. So I blame it on these ideas, and I hope, my hope is that you get to touch just the, whatever of these ideas you touch, that you could have a similar or better result. So thank you for staying.
What was 20? I
Yeah.
have missed that.
Did I?
You skipped.
Allowing thoughts of
No,
anger to go
allowing
on.
thoughts of anger to go on.
Yeah, I just had it numbered wrong.
But I'm giving you, in the short time we have together, a touch. You should go onto the website, download the full reading. The reading has the detail on it. And then cheat and get the answer sheet. And if you're going to do it for any of the courses, this is the one you do it for, because these vows, understanding these vows is the essence of transforming your mind. Sure, you need renunciation. Sure, you need to study emptiness and karma, and that will let you see these vows in a different way. But know the vows. If you don't know them, you don't know what you're developing. Yeah. So I'm giving you, in the short time that we have, some understanding of them. You could spend years understanding these things. Yeah. This is offenses against the perfection of joyful effort. Yeah. Doing good things and feeling awesome about them. So that this is. If you collect a group of disciples, if you share these ideas with people around you, yeah, with the desire for them to go, you're so cool, you're so awesome, yeah, and then you're expecting them to go and make the cushions and give you the stuff, the nice beautiful stuff, you all give me, etc. If you're doing it for those reasons, you break this vow. This is particularly hard, like sitting up here and getting all these lovely things and all the nice discussions, that's one thing. But the essence of this vow is really, you sit with your friends and you're like, let me tell you about karma and emptiness, because it's such a cool thing. Or you're attracting chicks doing it, or you try. I didn't look at it. So over there. Be careful. The point of this thing is that there is joy to be had beyond comprehension if what we're reading is true, if what we got passed down is true. There is joy to be had beyond the joys and of what we call nominal existence. Yeah, if these things are turned on in your heart in a particular way. So collecting a group of people that think you're cool in that ignorant way is breaking this vow. There are some exceptions. Let's see what exceptions you can collect a cool group of students. There are no exceptions. Not for that one. This is interesting, that I think the test of this one is if you have jealousy over a different group of practitioners. If you see a different group of people practicing and you have some kind of jealousy or competition that's unhealthy, this will tell you whether you're getting close to being in this group because it's cool. You see what I mean? If we have any kind of if I have any jealousy of another teacher, that would inform me that I haven't got this one right. I should be happy that people are teaching. I should be happy that people are going to get their flavor of ice cream, putting on their ugly dress because they enjoy it. They're getting wisdom. Yeah? The point here is people are making efforts on paths to get free from suffering. This should deliver joy. If you've got some kind of unhealthy jealousy over other groups and other practitioners, and mine is right in this would inform me at least that this isn't happening for me. Yeah. Failing to dispel your laziness and the like. This is about joyful effort. This is about putting energy and putting putting you into a practice. Yeah, about enjoying doing goodness, enjoying doing these vows. For example, or other bodhisattva activity. So this 22. This doesn't mean you can't relax. Okay, this doesn't mean you should not recharge. This says if you're wasted entire day watching Netflix, and the commentary from the 13th, no. It refers to doing an entire day of complete waste of time, and you know that you could take up some more dharma, that you could go and help a friend, that you could do something in your day to re-energize other people, to get people closer to freedom, and you've got all the time and you've refreshed and you're relaxed, but you choose to sit home and just veg and do absolutely nothing the whole day, no virtuous activity. This refers to that, failing to dispel your laziness and the like. Useless talk because you enjoy it. This is out of feeling of desire, attachment, and you get the glazed eyes here you know when you're in this state of mind, when you're talking about useless things that cannot really help anybody. This is different from talking about things that you know connect you to people. This is different, okay? This is, oh my God, let's go do some stupid gossiping about something that has absolutely no, oh my God, shoes. You know, doing that over and over and over because you enjoy it, because you're sort of stuck in that thing. So, let's see if there's any in Yemen. No, there is. If you need to go and figure out some stupid information because it will help you as a point of connectiveness or information towards other people, like, I don't know, let's have a look.
General politics.
Yeah, general politics, or, you know, how to invite everybody on Facebook using Firefox. What's the code for that? You know, like some useless activity like that. Then they say you should go in and get the information quickly, come back and use it. And that wouldn't be breaking this vow. If you are doing it mindfully because you know it fits the culture and it gets you in on a particular group of beings who you are desperately trying to free from suffering, i.e. moving to Bushwick, yeah? Then it's not breaking this vow. Like, we spend a ton of time, blah, 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 at little skips. And, you know, most of the time, people are talking about, and I'm talking about, silly things. But I don't think that there is too much time where I'm not thinking, I love that your mind just stepped over to some goodness. I know we're talking about art and drugs and music and things, but I've just helped connect us to something more virtuous. Let's help other people connect to this music. Oh, great. So all of a sudden my mind's thinking, no, I'm getting my tickets to MIA, but we're all going, you know? Something like that.
So it's okay if it connects you to other beings?
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying before is the bottom line of a bodhisattva activity is you're helping every living being that you possibly can within your reach. And it's not some person in China. It's actually the people you work with, the people you have coffee with, the people you walk past on the trains, the people you sit next to on the thing. The point of this state of mind is to develop a heart that says, it's my job to get us closer to enlightenment, the best I can. Yeah? So if it connects you, if you know it will serve, then it's not this, you're not breaking this vow. This is talking about you getting lost in that loop, that glassy-eyed, oh my God, did you hear what she was wearing the other day? That one. Yeah. I've got 5 minutes. I can do the last one. Haha. Here we go.
Nice picture.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. It's an old Tibetan. I actually think he's one of the masters from the old Tibet, but I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. And it's before he passed. All he could do is practice. I can't remember his name, but it's one of the beings that moved from Tibet, I think. Yeah, because it was shared to me by a friend practitioner. So these are the.
Is it concentration?
It was concentration, so ignore joyous effort at the top. It should say for the last perfection of concentration. I will do this quickly and then we can review them. But first is failing to seek the meaning of meditative concentration. So this is out of a bad motivation or laziness, you stop studying meditation. Stop trying to learn how to get single pointed concentration, which is the basis of all practice. All realizations of major import happen on the cushion. So failing to take yourself, and the exceptions here, I believe, we'll cover them next week, are if you're already a master, then you don't need to go. If you don't trust the validity of the teacher, so if you're doubtful that the teacher is really teaching thing, then you don't need to go. But the point here is, are you making all the efforts possible to realize this single pointedness? Are you going to classes? Are you reading? Are you sitting on the cushion? Are you practicing? So failing to seek the meaning of that, yeah? Failing to remove obstacles of meditation. And he talks about the 5 where your mind is distracted, jumping from object to object, where the mind is dull, when the mind is distracted on objects of the senses, when the mind, I can't remember the other 2, okay? Then we talk about
5 hindrances would be.
The 5 hindrances? I can't.
Probably be in the 5.
Yeah, I can't remember what.
Attraction to sense objects, being indecisive.
Being indecisive, that's right. So, not knowing when to act, right? Being indecisive. What was the 5th one?
Procrastination.
Saying attraction to sense objects.
Which was thinking of food and so on.
Foggy-mindedness.
Foggy-mindedness.
Bad thoughts, and it says being wild.
Being wild, acting wild. We'll talk about it next week, and I'll see what I remember or what I'll study up.
What is JTK?
Jason Kappa. Yeah. He says not just in seeking in meditation, but in general life, you should try and work against these 5 hindrances. Considering the pleasant sensation of meditation to be an important personal attainment. So this is the idea of craving that bliss that you get when you are in an amazing state of meditation, and once you begin to have that as a result of meditation, thinking that that's the object of meditation and getting stuck in there. The bottom line is, it is just another suffering. It's another lick of the honey on the razor blade. This pleasant sensation will go away. You've got to go beyond that pleasant sensation and get to the real meaning of meditation. You have to realize emptiness with bodhicitta. So getting stuck with the pleasant sensation and getting lost in that would lead you to all sorts of realms, but it's not the point. So these are now vows against the morality of concentration, which is working mostly with your mind. Yeah. And then next week we'll do that as a review, and we'll talk about the perfections of wisdom and a couple more. Let me just get in front of us the ta-da. This is what's coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So let's offer any goodness that has gone through our minds, and then do the dedication. Pukir Jushin Metopcham Rira Vinchin Yundem Padi Sange Shindu Mite Vivargi Drogun Namda Shinla Tuparsho Idan Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Ninyatayami Dirgyoku Sunam Yeshe Shen Wei Dampa Kuni Topa Shok. Thank you so much for spending the time together. For those of you who have been following Melon Sima, the little girl, by miracle she got a heart transplant 2 days ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Well, a miracle for them, because the reality is that somebody lost a 5-year-old daughter. Yeah. And that she got a heart transplant. These people have no insurance. They've just moved to the United States. They didn't know what the hell was happening. They just moved to their apartment. Everything's been taken care of financially by the hospital. They're looking after them. They've been taken care of beyond understanding. She's doing well. She was under sedation for just over 20 hours or something after the operation, which happened 2 nights ago at 4 a.m. She woke up at 7:30 a.m. They pulled at 5 a.m. she woke up, sorry, 20 hours later or something. They pulled the tube out and she said, I want to talk to mommy and daddy. And then the doctor said, oh, you might scare them if we wake them up now. She goes, oh, okay, then I'll wait. And then she waited.